Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm continuing off from where we did VirtualBox and where we installed VirtualBox and how we installed VirtualBox and where we installed Docker, and then we're going to continue to configure NaviDrome. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Docker, and we're going to talk a little bit more about NaviDrome and Linux. So and different utilities that are available in Linux. So if I pull the VirtualBox up, you'll see that I have the Docker server is still running. But if your system isn't running right now because you shut it down before, so if we click on, for example, the right mouse button here, you'll see there's an option called stop. And I'm going to say power off or ACPI shutdown. So I'm going to say power off. It's going to say, do you really want to power off the following virtual machines? This will cause any unsaved data and applications running inside to be lost. I'm going to power them off. You usually don't want to do that. You usually want to do an ACPA shut off, which means it'll shut off more cleanly. But for now, I'm going to do a power off. So I'm going to power it off. I'm going to say yes, power off. Now, when you get your box, you'll see something like this, that server power, and then when you're going to start your box. So I'm going to say start the normal start. Now, when it starts up, you should get a screen popping up like this. Starting up, it's taking some time. All right. So you're going to get a window popped up like this. So you see at the screen here, there's a window, with 64, and it's popped up. Now you're gonna log in with your username that you created previously and run test user, or your whatever password you put there. Type IP address, and then you want to look for the IP address that's showing up there, so you can log in with your uh, Windows client, so it's easier to cut and paste stuff into that folder. So the interface you're usually looking for is EMP0S3. EMP can be called. It starts with the E usually, and it usually looks like this. You might have a different IP address. Mine is 192.168.1.147. I'm gonna log in now with that IP address. So you see there, I'm already logged in, but I'm gonna clear that screen because I rebooted the system. So I'm going to log into that system with my username, which we created originally, and I'm going to log in with David. So please put comments down below if you want me to delve into something deeper, if you want me to talk more about something else in the about the what I'm doing. So I'm going to log in with this user client, and as you can see here, I have I have the Docker installed. I have NaviDrome installed. Now, the first thing I want to go into is the mistake that I made originally on the tutorial. So everything was okay, but the way I spun the system up wasn't very secure and wasn't very organizable. So if you look at here, the dash V and the dash V, it puts all those files in my home folder. I don't want that. So what I want to do is I want to make a new folder called Navi. So I'm going to say make their Navi, or you can make it NaviDrone. I'm going to go into Navi, and then I'm going to make two subfolders here called music and data. These are where the configuration files are and where the music files are going to store from this Docker image. I'm also going to talk more about Docker. So let's go into the options that I'm running and even what we can do with that Docker image. So let's just say I go Docker PS. That will tell you all the images that's available, Docker PS-A. So right now I have no Docker images available. Docker images telling me all the images I have downloaded. So Docker images will show I have two images downloaded, Dulin and NaviDrome from what we downloaded before. So now I'm going to copy the script file that I made and place it into this folder here, and I'm going to edit it. I would say use Nano if you're using Linux to edit the NaviDrome, the script file, because it's really easy to use. It tells you the commands at the bottom, for example, Control X to exit, Control, and if you modify it, it'll tell you how to Control save it. So I go here and press Control X, and then it'll tell you how to save the buffer. Say yes, for example. I said no. So let's fix the first thing. Let's fix the mistake that I made. So what we want to do is we want to make this music and this data. So what this is saying is look in the current folder slash music, look in the current folder slash data, and mount that to the Docker data container and music folder. And I'll show you that a little bit more as we go on what this is actually doing. I'm going to save this. So But before saving, I'm going to just go through more options. Dash D means run the server in detached mode, not in the foreground. So otherwise, it'll be in the foreground. You wouldn't be able to do anything. This will run it as a background process. A background process is a process that is running that is not interactively. Dash P is the port. So this Docker image will has a port running. It can only be accessed to the Docker container unless you expose it with the dash P option, and that will expose it to the Ubuntu server. So like it's sort of like a telephone line. So you have a phone. You're calling your friend up. Your friend cannot pick that phone up. And your friend can't pick that phone up. So doctor the for make not exposing the port means your friend can never pick up the phone, but the 4533 is the port. If the port is open, it means now that communication is open, and the virtual image can open the port. And then NaviDrome, deleting NaviDrome is the name of the image or the name of the application that you're running. Latest is the version. You can find more information on what Docker does and what Docker images are. There's different Docker images you can get. I'm going to save it. I'm going to run this script now. Now it should be running. As you can see, and if I want to see what's going on, there's a command called Docker logs. Docker logs will allow you to see what's going on with the Docker logs. So what's happening in that application. So this is all the information that's happening on that container. If I put -F, it will constantly stream those logs so you can see what's going on. And to get out of this, you hit Control C. So now that I have this image running, what we want to do is we want to see if it's this running. So if we do Docker PS, the images are running. And Docker. Now, if you want to go onto that system, you actually use docker-exec-it E51. That's a container image, or NaviDrome, what we named it, and then I can bin bash. So this is saying that there's no such directory on that folder. It probably needs to be sh. So Docker containers have limited applications installed on it. So you might not have bash, but you can use definitely sh usually to log in. So you see here that if I go to data, all the files that are mounted, these are the files that were mounted from the shared folder. So it's a shared folder from the host system to the container system. So if I go data and music, these are going to be files that are shared from the host system. Now let's initialize the NaviDrome instance that we just created. So if I go here and I log into that IP address I just logged into, we now have a created screen. So I can put in David, my new password that I'm going to use to log into this web interface. And now we have NaviDrome up and running with no music. Now let's say you want to copy some music here. I'm going to suggest downloading some copyright, non-copyright music off YouTube. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to youtube.com, and I'm going to look for some non-copyright music. And we're going to pick any one. So we're going to pick, for example, this one here. I want to do a playlist because playlists are it's a playlist. Yeah, it's a playlist, I think. Let's see. It's a playlist.
Number 58, the feeling of not jogging, the feeling of winning, number 1.
So I'm going to look for a playlist. So this looks like a good playlist. I'm looking for a good playlist where it's easy to show the titles and an application that I usually use to download these non-copyright music interfaces. Just looking for a good one, non-copyright music playlist. So let's take a look, see if I find a good one here. So I guess if I find here, this one might be a good one here. Let's take a look at this one here. So let's take a look at this one here. So this is the one I'm going to use. I'm going to copy this URL. Now there's some things here that you can do to there's some things you can do to get this music. So you want to go to the music folder and you want to install a couple things on your Ubuntu server. So the first thing you want to install is Python 3, Python 3 pip, and Python and YTLP. These are so apt-get is an application that installs files to your Linux operating system. The application installs the command to install it, and Python 3, Python 3 pip, Y2DLP is the three applications that we're going to be downloading. But you have to use it. You have to do it in sudo mode. So let's do it in sudo because sudo is that, again, like I said, it allows you to run administrative commands on your Linux application. So sudo apt-get install Python 3, Python 3 pip, and Y2DLP. So I'm going to put in my username and password. I've already installed it, but on yours you should see a bunch of applications there that would say, do you want to install? You say yes, and it will download it. After you download it, what you want to do is you want to run this YT DLP -X means audio only, and then you're going to say add metadata and metadata from metadata add metadata, and then metadata, I think it's from title. Let me take a look here with the -H options. Oops. Grep. So grep is the command that will allow you to sort out text. And I'm just looking for an option here to add parse metadata from title. So metadata, I'm just looking for here. I don't think I'm finding it. Okay, so there's a way to there's a way to add the metadata from title with the minus. I'm just looking to see how to do that. So let's go here, YTDLP. We're gonna look at the command line here from title. So it's metadata from title. So what I want to do is I want to YouTube UT-X add metadata, and then metadata from title, and then we're gonna put the format, which would be artist, and this from the title there. This is just saying to get the artist name and that from the title. You don't need to do add metadata from that. You can do different things. You want to research this application so you can learn how to use it if you're gonna use it, or you can just use your existing music that you have on file or on disk that you've bought previously. So I'm gonna paste that URL here. I'm going to press enter. Now it's going to download all this non-copyright music that is free off YouTube. And it will copy the artist based on the it looks like some of the links it couldn't understand. So it says could enter title as, so metadata allows the music to be named properly in the Navi Music. So if I go to Navi Music now, you should see some of this music showing up. You might have to rescan it. Let me take a look here. Or restart the server. So it's not showing up yet. Now as you can see, it's starting to show up here. So this is all the music that we've just added in the music folder. So now you can play this music on your server, which will allow you to play on the web interface. So this is kind of how NaviDrone works. Now the next kind of videos I'm going to go into is basically how to do SSL certificates on this device and how to port forward it to the firewall. That's the next steps I'm going to go into. An example of attaching this to a firewall to access it the outside internet, and do proxy and getting a certificate, SSL certificate, so you have an HTTPS server running in the background. Thank you and have a great day.